Hi guys, welcome to another video where I'll be going over GCSE Chemistry Titration Questions. This is one of the topics which most students find difficult, but I've made these questions easy in just 5 steps. So let's read the question. Adam has performed a titration with 25 centimeter cube of 0.3 mole per dm cube sodium hydroxide solution, which is neutralized by 0.1 mole per dm cube sulfuric acid. What is the volume of H2SO4 used? And it's a 6 marker. First step, it tells you write down a balanced equation. So let's write that down. Number 1. Writing the balanced equation, it is sodium hydroxide plus H2SO4, and that will form Na2SO4 plus H2O. Now, let's look at the sodium atoms. Sodium atoms on the left are 1, sodium atoms on the right are 2. So I will just multiply sodium hydroxide with 2, and that balances our sodium atoms. The next thing I'm going to look at is the hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen atoms on the left are 2 plus 2 is 4, and on the right it's just 2. So I'm going to put a little 2 at the front of water, and that's going to make 4 hydrogen atoms. So hydrogen is balanced, sodium is balanced. Let's look at oxygen. So you've got 2 plus 4 atoms of oxygen gives you 6 on the right side. 4 and 2 gives you 6 on the left side. So that's balanced. Last but not the least, we look at the sulfur. So 1 sulfur there on the reactant side and 1 sulfur on the product side. So the whole equation, guys, is balanced. Now let's look at the state symbols. Sodium hydroxide is aqueous, H2SO4 is aqueous, sodium sulfate is aqueous, and water is liquid. So my equation is balanced. Second step that we had was fill in the known values. Fill in the known values. So I'll write number 2. Now, what do they mean by known values? If you look at the question, they've given 2 pieces of information of sodium hydroxide. And what have they given you? They've given you the concentration, which is 0.3 moles per dm cube, and they've also given you the volume. So let's write that down. They've given you the concentration and the volume. So this is your volume and this is your concentration. I can use this information to work out the number of moles of sodium hydroxide. So moles of NaOH equals concentration times concentration times volume, and this volume needs to be in decimeter cube. Always remember this, guys. Now what is the concentration given to you? 0.3 moles over there per dm cube, times that by 25 cm cube, and we need to convert it into decimeter cube, and that's going to be divided by 1000. What's the answer going to be? Let's have a look. So 0.3 times 25 divided by 1000, and that gives me 0.0075 moles. 0.0075 moles of NaOH. Okay, next, third step, and that is work out the number of moles of each substance using the ratio of the acid and base used. So sodium hydroxide, NaOH ratio, H2SO4, and what will it form? If you look at the equation, you've got 2 moles of sodium hydroxide being used and 1 mole of H2SO4. Now, we worked out the moles of sodium hydroxide, which is 0.0075, and we need to work out the moles of H2SO4, and I'm going to assume it to be X. Once you get to this point, you cross multiply. So 2 multiplies with an X and 0.075 multiplies with a 1. It will look like this. 2 times X equals 0.0075 times 1. Now 2 is being multiplied on this side. If I take it to the other side, it will divide. And the answer will be 0.00375 moles of H2SO4. Now I've got the moles of H2SO4 as well. I've got the volume, sorry, the concentration is also given to me. So if you look over here, we've got the concentration of sulfuric acid also given to us. Using this piece of information, so that's my number 4, calculate the volume of H2SO4. Now we've got the moles, we've got the concentration. The formula that I'm going to use is N equals C times V. N is the number of moles, which is 0.00375, equals concentration is 0.1 times volume. Now 0.1 is being multiplied with volume. If I take it to the other side, it will divide. So that will become 0.00375 divided by 0.1, and that gives me the volume. And the answer is, let's divide that, divided by 0.1, 0.0375 decimeter cube. This is my step number 4. Volume needs to be in centimeter cube. So the step number 5 is convert into the correct units. So what I will do is, number 5, I will multiply 0.0375 times that by 1000, and that gives me 37.5 centimeter cube. And in these 5 simple steps, I've finished this whole complicated question. I hope you've understood it, and I'm going to leave some questions for you to follow and practice. If there's any problems, guys, don't hesitate. Drop me a DM. Okay? Thank you.